Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in another video day. And today, the Dallas Mavericks have traded for Anthony Davis and a huge blockbuster trade. Luka Doncic is going to LA. The Utah Jazz are basically the, kid in a school project that absolutely does nothing. And when the grade comes, they still get 100 because the Utah got involved in this trade, got 2 second-round picks and Jalen Shafino, and gave up nothing. And a huge trade that we're going to go over. Wow. I'm in shock. And I'm a Rockets fan. So I just want to say, Mavericks fans listening, are y'all okay? Do y'all need help? I know this is difficult times right now. So we're here for y'all, okay? I feel so bad for Mavericks fans. I mean, I know how much Luka meant to them, and then that's just taken away from them. Wow, that is a bad feeling. Man, I am in shock for this trade. I'm gonna tell you guys how I found out about this trade. Basically, I was playing the football game Madden, and had my phone right next to me, but it wasn't faced up. It was down. I couldn't see the screen. And as the game was ending, I decided I wanted to check my phone because I actually wanted to go to YouTube and check out how many views one of my videos had. And I see a missed call from one of my buddies, a real close friend named Sebastian. And for some reason, even though I think I probably had already received 25 alerts about the trade, because it had been about 20 minutes since the trade was announced by Shams, as I'm picking up the phone. The only thing I'm seeing when I get to the phone is missed call from Sebastian, and it's funny enough, a couple alerts about the Suns Blazers game, that the Suns Blazer game ended, something about Shaedon Sharp, but nothing. I see nothing about the trade that just happened. So it's just about the phone call that I missed and the game. And I actually have no idea why he's calling at all. Because I was just ringing him. It's almost midnight. And as I'm calling him back, before he answers and can say something, I see all over the place. I'm seeing it on Bleacher Report. I'm seeing it on ESPN on these alerts. I'm seeing it on X with seeing Shams tweets. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see Woj because he retired. It's weird. It's weird seeing a huge trade like this and not getting Woj bombs. Like, come on. I think that's one of the things that hurts the most about this trade is not having Woj involved with it at all. But seeing it all, I'm seeing it on the Underdog betting app. I'm seeing it's everywhere, and I'm like, oh my god, I didn't believe it at first. I don't have the best eyesight, especially when it's late at night. I thought I was seeing things. I really did. I thought it was fake. And even Shams had to make a post is like, this is real. I was not hacked. That's how crazy this trade is. That a NBA insider for ESPN has to say I wasn't hacked. So, wow, what a trade. Luka headed to LA, team up with Bron. Why did I just call him Bron? I'm sorry. Team up with LeBron. Luka, 5-time All-Star. I mean, this was the first time Luka wasn't an All-Star since his rookie season. Which, look, Luka's had a great season, averaging 28, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists with 2 steals per game. But I don't think he really deserved the All-Star this year just because of how much time he's missed. But if we're gonna ignore the injuries this year, Luka 100% is an All-Star. But counting the injuries, maybe he's not. But last year he had an absolute outstanding season. This should sound like someone who finished third place in MVP voting. This is nuts. Third place in MVP voting, but he averaged 34 points per game, 10 assists per game, and almost 10 rebounds per game. Yeah, I mean, that is unreal. And then that last season shot 38% from 3. I mean, his shooting numbers are down this year. His overall percentage dropped down 2%. 3-point percentage dropped down 3. So his shooting is down, but Still having a great season. Anthony Davis goes to Dallas, team up with Kyrie. I will say, this Dallas team now does have some great depth because you have Kyrie. This is the starting lineup, and you do have quite a few players off the bench for this Dallas team that very well are starters on other teams. You got the starting lineup. You have the starting lineup of Kyrie, Clay, PJ Washington, who's playing some great basketball right now. Anthony Davis at the 4, which AD has said so many times, I play my best basketball at the 4. Then you have Gafford at the 5, who's also playing some really good basketball right now. And then off the bench, this is where it gets crazy. When healthy, you have Derek Lively off the bench, who on a lot of teams is a starter. You have Max Christie, who is recently has played a lot of good basketball. And I think on a lot of other teams, he's a starter. And Quentin Grimes has played some really good basketball for Dallas this year. He's off the bench. And another guy who's an elite scorer, Jaden Hardy. This is a very solid bench that Dallas has. And there's other guys outside of that. So depth-wise, I think Dallas looks really good. But it's just getting rid of your franchise player, that's the tough thing. But as of what Dallas got back, it's just I wouldn't be too frustrated with it. I think the only frustrating thing is that they traded Luka. Like, let's be real. They traded away a guy who they only have under contract 2 years after this season. Got back a guy who is an elite defensive player, 3-time block champion, 9-time All-Star. This season averaging a total of 26 points per game, 12 rebounds per game, and 3 assists per game. I don't think he's close to Luka, but I think he's a great player. I think he's not at Luka's level at all, but at the same time, with him, they're getting Max Christie, who has played some really good basketball recently. This year he's averaging 8 points per game, 3 rebounds per game. But if you look at what his production recently, 13 points in his last game against the Wizards the other night. Then he had 10 against Charlotte. He had 11 against Golden State. He's had some really good games this year and has even shot pretty well from 3 at 37%. So I think he's a solid addition. And then you get, and I think this is a very nice part of this trade for Dallas, is you get a 2029 first-round pick. A 2029 first-round pick, that's 4 years from now. In 4 years, neither LeBron or Luka are under contract. Neither is Austin Reeves. Who knows what this Lakers team looks like? I will predict that in 2029, LeBron is definitely retired. And in 2029, Luka is definitely still playing. But I actually don't think he will be playing for the Lakers anymore. I think Luka will very well possibly go to his third team when his contract is over. I don't know. I definitely see Luka playing these next 2 seasons with the Lakers after this season. But after that, once his contract expires, I very well think after Luka's contract expires, LeBron retires and Luka decides he's going to leave LA. And after that, that's when LA starts to become a crap show. And that's right around when Dallas would have their draft pick. And Dallas could be looking at having a top pick in the 2029 draft. That's something to think about. But is getting rid of your franchise player worth another really good player, another really good superstar, plus the very good chance of having a top draft pick in 5 years and another really solid player? I don't know. And I'd love to know what Dallas's plans or thoughts were about re-signing Luka. Did they not think? Did they think they didn't have a good chance of re-signing Luka in a couple of years? I don't know. There are so many ways you could. I know Nico Harrison. The original thing he said was defensively. We're better defensively with this trade, and I agree with that. Luka's a defensive liability. You go ahead and you trade him, and you get one of the best defenders in basketball, one of the best shot blockers in basketball, and another really good defender, Max Christie. So defensively, you improve. But I think there's a drop down offensively as well, because you're going to lose Luka's scoring, you're going to lose Luka's facilitating, and sure, you still have Kyrie scoring and Kyrie's facilitating, but that's a big void that is missing now that Luka's gone. And So that's a huge thing to think about right there. And I think defensively this Mavericks team is a lot better now. And I think defensively there are not a lot of teams that are going to want to go up against this team defensively. Like, this is a lockdown defensive team. You got shot blockers like Gafford. Gafford just had 5 blocks last night. And now you're going to have Gafford. This is going to be one of the hardest teams to have to go and drive in the paint on. Because you have Gafford and AD right there waiting to block your shot. You got AD, who's one of the best shot blockers in the game outside of Wembanyama, and Gafford, who just had 5 blocks last night. Then you have Lively. You have PJ Washington, who's an elite rebounder. This is a very hard team that you're going to have to deal with defensively, and you're going to have to rebound against. And that's what's going to make them dangerous. But the drop down for this Dallas team is offensively. Because you're going to be so much better defensively and rebounding-wise, but they're going to miss Luka's offense. I don't think they're going to miss Luka's defense because I think Dallas is going to become a very elite defensive team. But I don't know what to think about this trade. There's so many ways you can think about it, whether it's good or bad for Dallas, because I think it is good and bad. And then for the Lakers too, I think it's a great trade for now, but who knows how bad of a trade this will look 5 years down the road. If the Lakers don't win a championship with Luka Doncic and he leaves in a couple seasons after his contract's over, and then the Lakers start to become really bad and they don't have that 2029 draft pick and Dallas gets that, this trade looks like a massive failure for the Los Angeles Lakers. But if you win a NBA championship with Luka and LeBron, and you turn into a crap team after they leave, and Dallas gets the draft pick, I don't think it really matters if you win a championship. There are so many ways you can go and start talking about this trade and how it's good or bad for both teams. I think with Utah, I don't think you can really talk about a way it's bad because they didn't do anything and got 2 seconds and a solid young player. But for the Lakers and the Mavs, there are so many ways we can go over how this trade is good for the Lakers, but it's also how it's bad. And then same thing with Dallas. I'm interested to see in 5 years how this trade will look. It will definitely be interesting. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section of this video. If you guys enjoyed, and peace out.